Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and a peace that endureth, thine own dear presence to cheer and to guide, strength for today and bright hope for tomorrow. Blessings are mine with 10,000 beside. I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Hey, so we're back in swing finally, but this week, and since I got back from the trip, really, and like I said last time, if you remember, the trip was just a testament to God's faithfulness, His providing for tons of stuff that didn't need to happen, and things that could not have happened apart from God working in people's hearts and working the timing out. And as long as we've been patient and seeking God's best, and just that we're gonna do what He told us to do regardless of what obstacles or setbacks come up. Setbacks all it really means is that it wasn't time to do it yet. He's still working. And he did. He worked everything, like the verse says, for our good, really. And it doesn't mean that if you do the right thing, that you're going to get some great reward. Because ultimately, heaven is the reward. And our salvation, and like the song talked about, God showed his faithfulness the most, or in the grandest way, and the most meaningful way, in the gospel narrative. But so there are times that we don't get like when you pray. There are times that it takes a while for you to see or hear the answer to what you've been praying for to come to fruition. And there are other times that the answer comes very quickly, and it's a no, and you don't get what you want. But that's okay, because that just meant that God had something better in store, which is what happened on the trip with a lot of things. Setbacks, obstacles, and something better comes out later. But yeah, and in my reading this morning, there was a lot of that too, about how God is the ultimate source of everything. And when the scripture says that he gives according to his riches, specifically in the spiritual sense, spiritual provision, and not necessarily like getting stuff or things being worked out, but spiritual, nourishment and stuff like that. It is according to his riches and spiritual gifts, which is to say that he has this value of stuff that he gives, but it doesn't subtract from what he has. He gives according to, not from the stuff. So it's not that he can give and give here and give there and give more, and then eventually he has nothing to give. And even if that was the case, then all he would have to do is just make more stuff, or make more of whatever it was. But he gives and still has an infinite amount. He has an unfathomable potential for blessing. And really the practical idea is that we just remain in his will. Like we said before, no matter how dangerous or how comfortable what's going on or what he wants us to do is, the center of his will is the safest place to be. It's the place where we can be the most effective and the most fulfilled in life, because of all those things that he has. And like we talked about before, the plan that he has is a perfect plan. But yeah, that's just, it's been on my mind, and the song is just a great song. Old hymn. I've known it for as long as I can remember, and loved it for as long as I can remember. And then, like I said, I always preferred the older songs. The new songs they're okay. Or 90% of the new songs. The 10% is pretty good. I'm kidding. But, yeah. His faithfulness, his justice, his grace, his love, his mercies, all of the attributes of God, innumerable, immeasurable, unfathomable, indescribable. And then it's true. It's really true. Like, it's amazing what you will see God do if you just let him do what he wants. Like the verse says, my God is in heaven, he does as he pleases. And that's twofold. That I don't do what I want, I do what he wants, and I can't control him. He does whatever he wants, in the sense that I've got nothing to complain about. all things all things considered, because I know he loves me, the guy with all that stuff wants to invest in me, wants to give for me. He does what he pleases, and if what he pleases is for my good, then I'm set, you know. Nobody can stop. If God is for us, who can be against us, you know? But then also, I've got nothing to bicker about, because he's gonna fulfill his will anyway. The question is will I be a part of it? And that's what the trip was. Is just we, my family and I, were just trying to be a part of God's work in the ministry and in people's lives. And he worked through it. He worked through us, which is a whole blessing in itself, to be a part of what God's doing, to be useful, effective, to have a purpose. And it continues until we all, or you know. But yeah, that's about it. Great is thy faithfulness. Not in a cliche way, in a very tangible and amazing, awesome way. But yeah, that's about it. Hey, we're making good time now, just getting back to things. I had to quarantine for 4 days when we got back, because the state, but then the last day, which would have been the 5th day of the quarantine, is when they dropped all the stuff. So cool, but we're back in the swing now. So I'll see you guys next time.